Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Can you guess what's in my bag? Stay tuned. So welcome to everyone stopping by to check out this video. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. I really do appreciate it. Now your favorite bag lady is back with this super sweet skinny paper purse. And what I have on the inside is really cute. And I think that you'll enjoy making these, and they are very, very economical to make. So once we get ready to go over the supply list, I will share with you what's on the inside. But this purse is so adorable, and it's a pretty good size. It's 8 by 2 by 3 inches tall. So you can get a lot in here. You don't even have to put in yours what I'm putting in this one, but you can get a lot in this sweet little bag. And you know what else? This is a gift ready to go. So y'all know what time it is. It is time to make it. All right, guys, here is our little bag. And it's not really little because it's a good size. So it's 8 inches wide, 2 inches deep, and 3 inches tall. And what I have in here, I'm going to just pull them out and show you. And so what we have in our bag are 2 skinny chunky notepads. And y'all know I love my skinnies, I love my chunkies, and when you put the two together, you have skinny chunkies. So we have 100 sheets of writing paper right here that we can use. And then I didn't waste, because once you cut away what I want to use on this project, you're going to be left with these sweet little, really skinny chunkies. And these make excellent list makers. So if you like to make lists, these little skinnies are just a great way to write down lists that you might need to make note of. And then if you wanted to take these, add a pin, add a ribbon like I had it, then these could also be great gifts or great craft fair sellers. We're not wasting anything. So here is what we're going to need to make it. So it's all going to start with one of these Dollar Tree notebooks. These are 4 by 6, and you get 150 sheets. I think I said there were 100 in here. It's actually 150. So all I did was I took this and I trimmed it down because I didn't want it to be as big as it is. I wanted to make a cute little purse to go along with it. So I trimmed it, and I'll show you that trimming process. So we'll need a notebook that is 4 by 6. It does not have to be the notebook from the Dollar Tree. And if you're looking to make this project but you don't have a Dollar Tree, a 4 by 6 notepad of any type will work. Or you can take some papers, cut them down to 4 by 6, and do that hot glue method that we have used before to make our own tearaway notepads. Then we're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 decorative cardstock. The heavier the better, because we'll be using this to make our purse. And then I have 4 pieces of cardstock that measure 2.5 by 5 3/4. And I'll show you the process for cutting these as well, because yours might not end up being 2.5 inches wide. And I'll show you the reason why on that. And then we'll need a strap piece that measures 1 3/4 by 12. So y'all, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make our handle so that the glue will have a chance to harden and the handle will have a chance to take a nice shape. So I have this in on the 1 3/4 inch side. We are going to score this at 1/2 inch and rotate it to the opposite side and score at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take my big old spatula and just do a little burnishing on this. And then I'll spread my glue on the inside. I'll take this piece. We're going to get it stuck. And then I'll take this piece, add some glue. Do my fold over. I'm going to grab a paper towel and just squeeze it through to get that glue stuck initially. And then I'll take my big old spatula and use it to form my curve. So now we have our curved piece that looks like that. So I'll take this, I'm going to set it to the side so that this can dry and harden. So now I'll bring in my 4x6 notepad with the topper still attached. We're not going to remove that. And this is how you can cut your notepads if you don't have one of those industrial cutters. So I am going to place my ruler. I'll make a mark at 2.5. I'll slide down to the next white space. Make another mark at 2.5. And then I'll slide down to that blue space, make a mark at 2.5, and then I'll take it and just kind of pounce it on my desk. To get everything nice and straight, I'm going to bring my ruler back in, place the ruler on those marks that I made. Using my finger blade, I'll start at the top, and this time when I use it, I'm not going to cut with it like this. I'm actually going to get the tip as straight as I can up and down to cut, because that's going to give me the straightest cut. So I'll just keep going through this until we have our pad cut. Now this does take some time, but you just keep going through and eventually you'll make it to Oz. All right, so once you have it cut, you're going to have these two pieces. I've already cut my second one, so I'll take these two and set them to the side because I can go back later and cover these with paper. But this is what we're working on today. Now, I cut my strips to go on top at 2.5 inches wide. When you're cutting yours, because you might not cut the same width as I did, make sure you place a ruler, see what you're coming up with, and then cut yours. Now you can safely cut it at 5 3/4 of an inch, but make sure you double check with your ruler how wide it is in order to get the right cut. So I think that my cuts are actually a little bit big, and that's okay because that'll give us a chance to go through the process for how to clean this up. So I'm going to take my piece, place it right there at the bottom, and I have found that the easiest way to get the straightest placement is to take your fingers, keep your fingers running along the outside as you lay that down, and that'll give you a pretty straight placement. Now I can see that mine actually was a little bit wider than it needed to be, and that's okay because I'm just going to stand it up, and on the side where it's hanging over, I'll just use my finger blade and go in and clean up that excess. So now we have that front nice and done. I am going to flip it over and we're going to do the back the same way that we did the front. So let me go ahead and just peel away. I'll take this piece starting at the end and I'll line it up end to end. Then as I'm placing it down, I'll take my two fingers going along the side to get my placement nice and straight. So again, my piece was cut a little larger than it needed to be. So I'll bring in my handy dandy finger blade and just clean up that excess. So we have one notebook. I'll bring in my second one. And we're going to follow that same process. So this time I am going to use the opposite side of that one, starting at the bottom. I'll place it and I'll just start running my fingers along the side to get it nice and straight. Then I'll open it and I do see where I have that overhang, and I'll just clean it up. And we have that one side done. We'll go ahead and do the back side. So I'm going to flip this over, doing the same thing that I did before. We're going to place it. I'll take my fingers and just run along the side. Wow, I cut that a lot bigger than it needed to be. So I am going to trim away my excess. And it's always better to have too much than not enough. So now we have our sweet little book all done. I am going to keep my decorations very, very simple because these will just be little notebooks that are in a paper purse. And I think those are very cute. We can keep it simple, but cute. So we have our two books. We're going to make our wonderful paper purse. So I'm going to take my 12 by 12 inch cardstock. First thing I'll do is score it 2. Then I'll rotate it to the opposite 12 inch side of that 2 inch mark that I made and make another 2 inch mark. Then I'm going to rotate it to the 12 inch side where I have not made any scores. We're going to score at 3, at 5, at 8, at 9, and at 11. And so now we'll take our scores and we will fold and burnish all of our score marks. And then we're going to take our finger blade, and hopefully you can see these score marks that run from end to end. We're just going to go up to the score mark and just release all of these. And then we're going to have this very narrow one on the end. We're going to get rid of that one. So we'll do the same thing on this side. So we're going to free all of these tabs. And then however it looks on this side, it should also look that way on this side. So I am going to remove this corner piece right here. And then with this flap right here, I'm going to angle in slightly. And then I'll angle in just a little bit on this one. And I'll flip over to this side and do the same thing. So we'll angle here. And then we'll angle right here. And then we won't do anything here, but we will come to this one. And we're going to angle, 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 and reduce. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So we'll come to this one, move these out of the way. I'll angle, angle, and reduce. So now you're going to have a piece that looks like this. You'll have these two tabs missing. Then you'll come from the bottom and you'll have these pieces cut in and angled. So now we're going to take our glue and we're going to start right here at the top. And I'm going to fold that over and glue it down. And what we're doing right now is really just to give us nice edges on our purse. So I'm going to take my glue here. I'm going to angle this just a little bit. And I'm going to fold that over. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Place some glue on that one. Fold it over. I'm going to angle this side just a little bit too. Now I'll take this piece, place some glue. We're going to fold that over. I'll place some glue here. And we're going to fold that over. And this is the top, so that when we fold this, we have these nice edges on the side and we have that nice piece right there. What you can do, and what I think I will do, is I'm going to place a piece right here just to cover the mechanics of what I just did. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece that measures 2 5/8 by 7 3/4. So I think I'll cut the 7 3/4 first. And the 2 5/8. So now I should be able to take this and just place it down, and it covers up all of the mechanics of what I just did. So I have my adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to take this piece and place it down right there, and that just gives me a nice neatness to that top. And then I'm going to take it and fold it just enough to reinforce that score. So that's the top that'll fold over on my paper purse. So now I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on my flap. I'll bring this back piece up and we'll get it stuck, making sure that we have it nice and tight. Y'all know how we do it. Go on the inside and get that stuck. And then let's come over to this side, place our glue on that tab, bring this back piece up, and get that nice and stuck, nice and crisp and even. And so now we're able to take this piece, we're going to place glue on this piece, and we'll bring it up. I'll use my ruler to go on the inside and just get that nice and stuck. And I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take my glue, place my glue, and then we'll get this stuck. And so now that I have this scrap piece, I am just going to take it and trim it to 1 7/8, and it's already 7 3/4 inch long. So I'm just going to go with that, and I'm going to place it in the bottom just to give me some added weight. Now you can place a chipboard piece if you want, but I have these scraps, so I'm going to go ahead and use as much of the scrap as I can. So I've placed some glue on the back of that. I'm going to take this piece and just drop it in. When that glue hardens, I'll have a nice sturdy base in this purse. So now that we have our purse like this, we're going to go ahead and take it and pinch in the sides to get that purse look. And then when we close it, that is how it's going to look on the sides. Now you can use whatever it is you want to close your purse. I think I'm going to close my purse using some of my plastic snaps. Now you can also use Velcro, and you can use magnets. You can pretty much use whatever it is you want to use to close your purse. So what I'm going to do is take the pliers that come with the kit. I'm going to put them in and just squeeze And that way I'll know where I need to punch my hole. So now I'm just going to take it, and I'm eyeballing it here, so I hope I get it close. So I've made another impression. I'm going to take my punch my hole. I'm going to grab my snaps. And if you happen to have some of these snaps, seriously, pull them out and use them, because I wish I had been using mine more often, because they really do make beautiful statements on our projects. So what we're going to have, we will have 4 pieces that we will need to use, and I hope you can see the difference in these pieces. We're going to have 2 pieces that will have that pointy end. Then you'll have a piece that looks like this one, where it's got the round head, and then you'll have the piece that has the elevated head. Those are the 4 pieces that you'll need to make a functioning snap. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take one of the pieces that has the point. I'll punch it through the hole. Then you take one of the 2 pieces, whichever one you choose to use is completely up to you at this point. But I am going to take this one and place it, because then when I place the other one, it'll be the connector piece to this one. So I'm going to take my little pliers, and I put the pliers on top of that prong, and when you squeeze, what it does is it takes that point and it flattens it out. So now we have that prong connected. This time when you take the prong, you need to put it on the inside and push it out. And we'll take that second piece and place it down. And now we can take our little pliers that came with the kit, put it on top, and squeeze so it flattens out that prong. And so now I'll take my books and put them on the inside, just like that. And now with the books in, I can use that as a stabilizing backer to help me press down and close. So when we take it apart, it's going to unsnap just like that. And so now when I close it, you can hear that snap. So now we can attach our handle, and I think that that looks really cute. So we have our handle. All I'm going to do is just fold up my ends, and how much fold you do is completely up to you. I am then going to take that handle and attach it with glue. So I'm going to take some glue, and I'll make sure that I let my handle dry completely before I try raising this using the handle. And I'm going to just put that in, and I like to have mine sort of in that horseshoe shape when I put it down. And then I'll use my big old spatula to make sure that I have that nice and stuck. And isn't that simply adorable? I absolutely love how this looks. And then I have these little enamel dots that I've had from Echo Park for quite a while. I am going to open these. Just take a couple and put one right there, and then one over here. And while I'm at it, I think I'm going to go ahead and add one to this one. And so there we have it, y'all. Another sweet project from your favorite bag lady. This makes a terrific gift. These would also make very fun craft fair sellers. I love how these turned out. On this one, I used a magnetic closure. On this one, I used one of my plastic snaps to close it. Either way, you get this adorable little paper purse. When you open it, inside we have 2 awesome 150 sheet skinny chunky notepads. Aren't they just stinking cute. So I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. As always, you guys, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.